Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's theRealKaaayle here, back with some MK11 content. You know, it was a very eventful weekend. The Mortal Kombat movie was out. MK11's 2-year anniversary. There's been a lot of talk about this movie, so let's get into it. This is going to be a spoiler-filled review of the movie. So if you have not seen the movie yet, I suggest you do so. It's still on HBO Max, or see it as soon as possible. But I'm talking spoilers here. I don't really like talking about anything and reviewing it without getting to the nitty-gritty of it. And I feel like, yeah, we definitely need to discuss like spoilers in the movie. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, please click off the video. Please, right? I'm doing this raw, uncut. I saw it yesterday. At the time I'm recording this, I saw it yesterday. But I don't got no script for this. I'm just freestyling this as I go, so bear with me, y'all. But yes, let's talk about the movie. So overall, I thought this was a very enjoyable film. I would say probably one of the best video game movies. And you know, when we talked about the trailer, the Mortal Kombat movie trailer that came out back in February, I believe, I made it very clear to you guys that I really don't care for video game movies. Well, personally, I just think video games are better than movies. I think video games can do a lot more, could pack more content in it. Video games have higher budgets than movies, so video games, I feel like, can be better. And if a well fleshed out story can be put into a video game, there's tons of video games with really well fleshed out stories. And honestly, if they really want to make the ultimate Mortal Kombat adaptation for like that's not a game, they want to adapt the story, I personally think TV is the way to do it. Maybe an animated series or a live action TV series on HBO would be cool. But movie, you know, they can only fit so much into a movie, because other than that, the movie's gonna be way too long. But I think they did a good job with what they were working with and what they wanted. You could tell that the people behind this movie are very passionate Mortal Kombat fans. Not necessarily that's like being good at the game. I think they just like the lore. They like the characters. Mortal Kombat means a lot to them. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about it. So, things I really liked. I liked the cast. The cast was great. I think they picked the right people to play these characters. Bear with me, y'all. Hold on. Let me bring up the actors' names real quick. Alright, so, you know, we got Hiroyuki Sanada playing Scorpion. Great Scorpion. Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero. Jessica McNamee, Sonya. Louis Tan as Cole. Machad Brooks as Jax. Josh Lawson as Kano. The cast was great. Max Huang as Kung Lao. I would say the standouts in the movie, for me personally, were Sub-Zero, Kano, and I'm gonna have to give it to Kung Lao. Those are the standouts in the movie for me, as far as like what they did. What personally for me, those are like the overall big standouts in the movie. Kano was alright. The character was really funny. They hammed it up with him. They just made him super annoying, super talkative, very comedic, but also badass at the same time. Josh Lawson, definitely, he was into this. He had a lot of fun with the character, and you know, they gave him a lot of good material to work with. Honestly, the scene with them in the temple, they were having dinner after training, and you know, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, everybody was riling him up. He got upset, and you know, they activated his secret power and everything. But that was a very cool scene. Sub-Zero, anytime he was on the screen, big stage presence. He felt very ominous, endearing, dark, and just kind of scary. And it was just very fun to watch him in action. Just very brutal. I like little touches that anytime that he was on the screen, the characters was like, "Whoa, it's cold in here." Yeah, like snowfall. The area would just get very cold. Overall, like that. Like I just like how they made his stage presence just feel very big. Ludi Lin, yeah, he definitely played a very dedicated and truthful Liu Kang as well. Hiroki Sanada, I liked in the beginning. I feel like I wish he was in this movie a bit more, but we're gonna get to that to the overall part. But I think, you know, the times that he was on screen, he definitely had that big presence, and it was just nice to see him play Scorpion. Sonya, I was definitely committed to Sonya. Jessica Magnani did a great job. Machado Brooks did a great job. Like, you know, for the classic Mortal Kombat cast, very good. As far as the rest of the casting go, I'm gonna say I was disappointed in Molina, and the main reason why I'm disappointed in Molina is because she just was there. She didn't really do anything. She had a couple fight scenes, but nothing really engaging. I don't think she definitely didn't have more than like 5 lines in the movie. You know, Molina isn't a focal character in the Mortal Kombat story, but she's an important character. I feel like they could redeem her in the future movies, right? But this movie, she kind of was just there. She was a jobber, and I'm not completely mad that she was a jobber, because I feel like you need jobbers in these movies. You need jobbers in these kinds of movies. They have tons of jobbers in the Mortal Kombat games, and the purpose of a jobber, for all my wrestling fans out there, the purpose of a jobber is the same thing for these games and movies. They're supposed to make the bigger characters look strong, and she really did do that. You know, she went up against I think it was Cole at the end, and yeah, I gotta give it to Louis Tan. I thought Cole Young was a brand new character that they introduced into the series, into the movie, and you know, wasn't the best character, but I can definitely accept him going forward. I think he did a great job. So the overall story, pretty much, you know, from the trailers and from, you know, what the directors and the writers were saying about the movie, the story follows Cole Young. He's a retired MMA fighter. He has the Mortal Kombat mark, meaning that he's chosen to help protect Earthrealm from Outworld, right? And turns out he is a descendant of Scorpion, because so at the beginning of the movie, you know, the typical Mortal Kombat story, the Lin Kuei attacks the Shirai Ryu, Lin Kuei wipes out the Shirai Ryu, Sub-Zero manages to kill Scorpion. There was people left over. He left the baby over that was still alive, and he turns out to be the descendant from Scorpion. So he has Shirai Ryu blood within him, and that's why he was the chosen one, and that relates to the power that he gets. So it actually has a very similar premise to how the Mortal Kombat original Mortal Kombat game started out, but it's slight differences. The mark sort of thing. I mean, I see some people thought that was a bit corny. I think Mortal Kombat as a whole is very corny anyways. It's really not that different, honestly. The only thing that they added was this Mortal Kombat mark. Before, they would just search out champions that they just knew that they were the chosen one. Raiden had visions and all that stuff. Yeah, going back to Raiden, I didn't really like how Raiden was in this movie. I feel like I just really like what they did with Raiden in the new trilogy. Raiden is, you know, he's a strong leader, but he's never afraid to make the tough decisions, right? Even though they end up being the wrong decisions sometimes, and they end up making things worse, he's never afraid to make those tough calls, but it all works out in the end, and that's why I like Raiden. You know, he's this all-seeing protector, but he's fallible, and I like that. He feels human, even though he's a god. I like that about Raiden. And he always gives like good advice, and he encourages his champions. He encourages people. I feel like he was kind of just he was kind of a dick, kind of rude. I don't know. I didn't like that. I don't like my Raiden being like that. I like Raiden kind of being like Superman, almost. But yeah, I think they could expand on it maybe in the sequels, but we'll have to see. But certain things, the fight scenes were great. I think they could have been a bit longer. You know how they were hyping up the movie to be like this super gory thing. I think it was definitely gory than most movies, but nothing worse than you would see in the games. The games are the absolute worst. I would say MK11 specifically is the most gory, brutal Mortal Kombat. But this was, by movie standard, this was pretty good. I would say the gore was more over the top, but they could have hammed it up a bit more. Like they were hyping up fatalities and everything. There was nothing like that crazy in this movie. I think yes, there's blood. You're gonna see some guts. You're gonna see some stuff that's gonna make you like ooh, oh, but it's nothing really. It's nothing that you haven't seen before. Definitely nothing you haven't seen before. There's probably horror films that probably had a bit more gore and blood in this movie. What else? Things I didn't like. I think the pacing of the movie was a bit too fast. And that just goes back to what I'm saying. Like, I feel like certain things they just had to just kind of speed through and just get to it because they can't really get in depth in all these characters and all these moments and all that stuff in this movie. There's no, it would have been impossible. The movie would have been far too long. I think cutting it at 2 hours was perfect. I saw some people getting upset that the movie was only 2 hours. I think people wanted like a 3 or 4 hour Snyder Cut version of the movie where they just explore all this shit. I don't think it needs to be like that. I think some people are just, they're going crazy with this Snyder Cut crap now. The movie don't need to be that long. But anyways, yeah, at times I did felt it was super pacey. It was like, okay, like just slow down, especially towards the end. The end where they started with Raiden, they came up with the plan to isolate each of Shang Tsung's champions and fight them one-on-one. I feel like they could have stretched that out a bit longer. I remember there was one of the more recent Mortal Kombat movies, I think it was Scorpion's Revenge. They did something similar to like that, where each of the Raiden's champions were fighting Outworld's champions in scene by scene one, but the fight scenes were a bit longer and they had a bit more action. This, everything happened so fast. It was like, okay, we split him up, he's dead. We split him up, he's dead. And like some people just unlocked their I forgot what Liu Kang called it in the movie. I'm gonna call it this special power. I guess that's like the big like retcon for these characters, is that there's like this thing called this special power. I guess it relates to the Mortal Kombat mark. But yeah, they changed that. So people have like these special powers that is hidden within them, and they unlock them by experiencing like true turmoil or intense pain. They have to go through some shit to unlock this true power. So the people that have had this already was Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Throughout the movie, Cole Young, he activates his by seeing his family almost being killed. And I saw some people say they're confused what his power really is. His power relates to at the very beginning of the movie, we saw him fighting in the MMA ring. It relates to the guy saying that he's a punching bag. He doesn't defend against attacks well. He doesn't block. He's a masher, pretty much. So he doesn't block. He doesn't defend against attacks very well. He just likes to attack. So his power is he creates like this armor, this Shirarayu ancient armor around him. He can materialize weapons. So he increases his durability. It almost kind of like the best way I can really describe it too is kind of like the Black Panther in the MCU. His vibranium suit, as Black Panther takes more damage, he could absorb that energy and releases it as like energy blasts. So it's kind of like that as well with Cole Young. He also can materialize weapons from his hands. It's like these like, I forgot, it's like these batons, but it's like blades on it. It's pretty cool. It's alright. It's kind of corny, but Mortal Kombat is corny, y'all. But same thing with Jax. Jax is, after the ancient the monks, they fixed him up. Yes, the monks are the ones who give him his arms, not the special forces. The monks fix him up. They give him the arms, but in a scene where he needs to save Sonya, the arms like activate and they get stronger. So that was his like his big power. Same thing. Who else had like a moment? Oh yeah, Kano, when they riled him up, he activated his laser, which was kind of weird because he's not a cyborg, or is he? I was kind of confused about that. But yeah, they had some retcons with that. Same thing with Sonya. Sonya during her fight against, I think was it Kano? I think at one point she came back and helped somebody. I think she came back and helped Cole. Then she had the energy blast. The first time we saw it, the energy blast is apparently in her. It's not a device that she uses. So there was some retcons with that. I don't really mind it that much. I know like these hardcore fans are probably have their titties in a bunch because of that, but it really doesn't matter to me. It is what it is. So where was I with this thing? Oh yeah, so yeah, when they started separating people and fighting, it just got kind of rushed towards the end, but it all accumulated into the final scene where they were all gonna fight Sub-Zero, which is Shang Tsung's assassin. So Shang Tsung was sending out Sub-Zero to kill off all the champions before they even have the next tournament, so that they could just get a free dub, which is kind of funny because you already beat them 9 times in a row. Why would you be afraid of that? But I guess he knew, like, Raiden it was getting some real heavy hitters this time. He was like, oh, let's just wipe them out before they even get a chance, right? Alright, I can live with that. So, what I would have liked to have seen, because I felt like it was a bit pacey, and since Scorpion was a big part of the promo and just the overall movie, like the central plot, I think I would have wished to have seen scenes where Scorpion was getting tortured and getting beat and like controlling the flames of the Netherrealm, pretty much becoming Scorpion. I would have liked to seen that. They showed like little things in the Netherrealm, this like weird CGI with the red background, pretty much indicating that he's in the Netherrealm, but he pretty much came back at the end, like, you know, like the big hero, and he's like, hey, I'm here for you, Sub-Zero. Vengeance will be mine. And instead of you sent me to the Netherrealm hoping that the flames will burn me, I actually managed to control them, and I came back to fight you. I would have loved to have seen some scenes with what's going down there. It doesn't have to be like this big thing. It could have been paced in between moments where the heroes were trying to figure out where the temple was, where they were getting the other champions. It would have been nice to see, like, maybe he would have went up against Quan Chi. He made a deal with Quan Chi to come back, but then that's more characters, and that would, yeah, that ultimately would have made the movie a bit longer. But I think it would have been nice, and would have made the big finale of the movie way more earned, because he kind of just comes back out of nowhere, and it's like, whoa, he's Scorpion now. And like, we all knew he was gonna be Scorpion, but it just didn't feel as like, ooh, yes, he's here. It didn't feel that way to me personally. The ending fight scene was great, but with Cole Young and Scorpion working together to take down Sub-Zero, they had like this. The movie's full with references. They had like these nice moments where, like, for the Shiraryu, Sub-Zero's like for the Lin Kuei. It was pretty cool. There was some nice other moments in the movie where Kung Lao absolutely bodies Nitara, and he says flawless victory, stuff like that. There was like callbacks to the old movie with Shang Tsung saying your soul would be mine. There were moments in this movie where I thought it was like unintentionally funny, but I think that's just Mortal Kombat's cheesiness. There was a scene where I think it was Cabal and Cole Young were fighting Liu Kang. Liu Kang was fighting somebody else in another area, and then Shang Tsung, I think Kung Lao was about to attack Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung grabs Kung Lao. You know what's about to happen. He's about to do the soul steal. Not just steal, not just become him, just rip the soul from him, like in Aftermath, like how Shang Tsung ripped Revenant Nightwolf's soul from him. Like, it was pretty brutal. And I saw a lot of people be upset, like, no, they did this to my boy Kung Lao. And what made the scene so funny was Cabal was like, I have to laugh thinking about it. What made the scene so funny was Cabal, you know, in his helmet and, you know, the gas. He said, oh yes, he's about to have his soul sucked. And I just started dying, bro. I was like, this was just heavy. I was like, yes, this is what I like in my Mortal Kombat. It was hilarious. But yeah, R.I.P. Kung Lao, he got his soul sucked by Shang Tsung. Somebody's gonna have to die in these movies. Somebody important, right? But you know, he'll be back. Nobody really dies in Mortal Kombat lore. Like, people get fatality all the time when they come back. But yeah, I thought it was they did some pretty cool things. Overall, I think I wish the fight scenes were a bit longer. I wish the movie had slowed down just a little bit and give us a little more backstory to Scorpion and how he becomes Scorpion. But not really much to complain. I didn't go in thinking this movie was gonna be like some new next coming masterful retelling of the Mortal Kombat story. I just wanted this to kind of just be fun. I wanted this to have a lot of references, good action, just likable characters, and that's what this movie gave me. It really did give me that. Other small nitpicks, I think I said this in the trailer too, I wish they had just added a bit more color to Scorpion and Sub-Zero's costumes, but there's also talks right now that I think the directors and the costume designers said that they purposely made Sub-Zero's outfit look darker to foreshadow his turn to Noob Saibot. So let's talk about the ending completely now, and then we can like wrap this up. So the ending of the movie, so Scorpion burns Sub-Zero. His whole outfit is black, and it kind of looks like a Revenant sort of. He pretty much looks like Noob Saibot on the ground. It was like a nice little Easter egg, and I think this is foreshadowing that, you know, this version of Sub-Zero, Bihan, is going to become Noob Saibot. So once he's defeated, the champions are all there. So who's left alive is Liu Kang, Sonya. Sonya now has the mark because she killed Kano. So Kano's gone. She took his mark. So Sonya now has, you know, she's one of Raiden's champions. Raiden is there. Cole Young is there. Jax is there. And yeah, those are the champions right now. So at the end of the movie, Raiden is like, okay, we defeated Sub-Zero. Shang Tsung needs to get more champions, and he's going to come back with armies next time, and not just a couple of fighters. He's going to come back with a big army now. So Shang Tsung's going to be recruiting, right? So Raiden is like, okay, now the tournament is definitely going to come. We need more people. At the end of the movie, Cole Young returns to his MMA fighting ring, his fighting dojo. He's packing up his clothes. He tells this guy, I'm not doing this anymore. There's a bigger calling for me. The guy says, where are you going? He says, Hollywood. And he says, what's in Hollywood? And he says, it's not what's there, it's who's there. And the camera pans, and then you see a picture that says, not a picture, a poster that says Johnny Cage, Citizen Cage. And this pretty much confirms Johnny Cage will be in the sequel of this film. So what's probably going to happen, Johnny Cage is another one of the champions that has the mark. He doesn't know that yet. Cole Young is going to try to recruit him. So Johnny Cage will be the next movie, and they're probably going to recruit other champions. I'm going to suspect Kitana might be one of them. They'll probably go to Adenia. We'll probably meet up with Jade as well. Noob Saibot is probably going to... Bihan's going to return as Noob Saibot. Shang Tsung might create Ermac. Maybe Shao Kahn would be in it. There's going to be definitely the next movie is going to have a lot more characters involved. It's kind of going to be I think we're definitely going to go more into the tournament, so we're going to see a lot more fighting, and we're going to see, you know, Shang Tsung kind of want to swindle his way and cheat and do all sorts of, you know, Shang Tsung things, right, like that. Scorpion, I don't know where he's necessarily going to fall into it. We know the story, Scorpion was kind of recruited by Shang Tsung to fight, but he only did it just to get revenge on Sub-Zero. But now that Sub-Zero is gone, they could definitely alter that completely. So I think the movie also sets this up very well for future movies, and they said based on the success of this movie, we were going to get 3 other movies. They plan to do 4 total movies, which is very exciting. Can't wait to see how this all plays out. But yeah, to summarize, guys, I think this is a very great movie. Let me know what you guys think about it. I thought it was great. I thought this movie was made for Mortal Kombat fans, like people who are really into this series, into this franchise. And you could tell that the people who made this movie are really into this movie, and they just want to, like, you know, have their version, their telling of the Mortal Kombat story, while also staying true, most importantly, to the characters, but kind of to the overall plot with some altercations. I would give it a 7 out of 10, pretty much. A solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is good. You know, if my scale 5 would be average, meaning that it's not bad, it's just average, not good enough not good enough for me to really care, and not bad enough to really care. 7 is you know, 2 notches above that. So good movie, definitely check it out. It's not masterful. It's not perfect. It's something that I think Mortal Kombat fans will look back and say we're thankful for having this. And I think it can only really get better from here because they just set itself up very, very well. And kudos to them for trying different things, because the Mortal Kombat story has been told dozens of times pretty much the same way, also in different ways. So kudos to them for trying to change it up. So let me know what you guys think about the Mortal Kombat movie. I apologize if you guys thought it was all over the place. I just did it freestyling, just talking one thing after another. But let me know what you guys thought about it. What do you guys think the sequel is going to be like? And when that is going to come out, probably like the next 2-3 years. So, yeah, stay real, guys. Check out the movie. Have a great day, y'all. Peace.